to the Lombard Jaycees 2013 Man of the Year. The Man of the Year is a person who embodies the very spirit of Lombard. Our community has always been a strong one with strong leaders. For the 2013 Lombard Jaycees Man of the Year, the judging committee chose George Ed Seagraves. We have 3 people here who would like to read their letters. First to read their letter is Dennis McNichols.
Good evening. There are a number of Rotarians in the audience tonight, and our Rotary meetings end at 1:30. If you're still speaking at 1:31, you are speaking only to the waitstaff. So, with that in mind, as I started to write my letter, I also realized, for those of us that know and love Ed, how futile it would be to try to capture him in a piece of paper. So, my best, Ed. Dear Ms. West, I am writing you to strongly endorse George Ed Seagraves, or Chief, as many of us refer to him, as the 2014 Lombard Man of the Year. As you may know, Ed Seagraves spent much of his adult life in service to the village of Lombard as the fire chief. While kind and affable, Chief Seagraves was a clear leader as his department grew and developed, keeping pace with the growth and development of Lombard over the past quarter century. Being fire chief was Ed's job. However, for decades he found time to be actively involved in the Lombard Rotary Club, supporting its charitable programs and endeavors and international projects that are the Rotary Club promotes. The motto of Rotary is service above self. Clearly, Ed has lived that motto by donating so much of his personal life and time to Rotary. Ed is a devoted husband, father, and now proud grandfather, and continues to be a visible presence at his church and throughout the community. I strongly endorse Ed Seagraves as the 2014 Lombard Man of the Year.
Next up is past Man of the Year, Art Frericks.
I would like to nominate Ed Seagraves for the 2013 Lombard Man of the Year. Ed amplifies all 6 pillars of character counts that Lombardians hold in high esteem. If you don't already know Ed, you will find glowing evidence of his trustworthiness, citizenship, respect, responsibility, in the 25 years that he served as fire chief of the Lombard Fire Department. This was the longest tenure for a fire chief in Lombard history, starting with his appointment in 1985. Under his leadership were fire and rescue, emergency medical services, the Bureau of Inspectional Services, and emergency preparedness. Ed served as president of DuPage Fire Chiefs Association. He has been a continuous member of the Lombard Fire Department's pension fund since 1985. As far as caring, showing responsibility, fairness, and respect towards his community, Ed is currently Vice President of the Lombard Historical Society. He was a fundraiser for the Carriage House expansion project and spent many hours working to see the Carriage House project to completion. He served on the Glenbard High School's District 87 Capital Improvements Referendum Committee, working to ensure the votes for greatly needed improvements for these high schools. He has been a lifelong supporter of scouting, serving locally as a marriage badge counselor. Ed himself is an Eagle Scout, an honor which entails he completed at least 21 merit badges. Be involved in the community, lead a service project in which he involved and supervised other scouts, and act as a leader of young men, all before the age of 18. He was destined to continue a leadership role from an early age, and he continued it ever since. Ed has been active in fundraising for the Tri-Town YMCA for many years. He received the Friend of the Y award for his service. He volunteered for 9 years as a boys basketball coach for Christ the King grade school. He still gets a big smile when he runs into young men and they call him coach. He has been a member of the Lombard Rotary for over 20 years and is a Paul Harris Fellow, which is a higher distinguished than normal members. Ed coordinated the trick-or-treat for the York Township Food Pantry with the Lombard Fire Department and Glenbard East High School students serving as volunteers to collect food for the pantry. A huge part of who Ed is lies evident in his devotion to his community. Although he was born and raised in Tennessee, he chose Lombard for his home, a place he wanted to raise his family and the community in which he wanted to serve. A devoted husband and father, Ed and his wife recently built a home in Lombard where they intend to spend the rest of their retirement years. Ed made it a point to use Lombard businesses for the architectural design, construction, and landscaping design of their home. You can be sure and you can be glad that Ed will be working to see that Lombard continues to be a great place to live, a safe community, and a wonderful place for families. It is with sincerity and respect that I nominate Ed Seagraves as 2013 Man of the Year. Thank you.
And finally, again, we have last year's Man of the Year, Bob Harris.
I am pleased to nominate George Ed Seagraves as 2013 Man of the Year. I have known him for the 25 years I have been working as library director. During most of that time, he was Lombard's fire chief, and so I have known him as a fellow community leader. I also have known him as a fellow Rotarian since 1998. Those are the two ways in which I have seen and experienced his personal qualities as exemplified by the pillars of character. I can speak more easily to some of the 6 pillars of character than others, but I strongly believe he exemplifies all the qualities described and that he would be a perfect choice for this honor. In the area of citizenship, he led the fire department for years. He hired, trained, managed, and led an outstanding crew of firefighters and paramedics. The professionalism of his staff, as shown in their many responses to emergency calls at the library, were evident and consistent. We also used his staff's assistance in developing our emergency procedures and training library staff in CPR and AED. The people he chose to do this training were all outstanding. Further, in my personal interactions with him, I have always found him to be highly professional, enthusiastic, and passionate about fire prevention and public safety. Also, in the area of citizenship, he is a tireless volunteer. Since his retirement from the department, he has been very heavily involved in fundraising and other activities for the Lombard Historical Society, especially as they built out the coach house. He basically led the huge fundraising effort for the coach house. I have also known him as a fellow Rotarian since I joined the Rotary in 1998. In that role, I know him more as a friend, and he has always displayed good humor, warmth, kindness, and caring in his interactions with me and other Rotarians. This is where I see his qualities of trustworthiness, respect, fairness, and caring. I see it in the way he talks to other people, how he treats those around him, and the wonderful stories he has to tell. I cannot think of anyone I know in Lombard who is more deserving of this honor, and I hope you will give his nomination careful consideration.
Man of the Year.
Thank you. I've been invited to say a few words. And as everyone knows, if there's a crowd, I would love to get a few words in. I can tell you without any reservation that this is a great honor for me. I appreciate this very much, President West and Jaycees, for making it all possible. I was looking at the program earlier, and of all of the people who won this award in the past, I know 31 of them. And I can tell you, to be a member of that group is just a terrific recognition. And for some of the immediate past Man of the Year who are sitting in the audience, and a lot of us are Rotarians, which means I'll be paying a picture fine and a happy fine, and probably I spoke too long fine. I thank you very much. When you hear the letters that was put together in my nomination, I can only say that, you know, yes, I was the fire chief of Lombard, and we did a lot of good things. But we can't do those things without all the people who are those members of that fire department. And we have a terrific bunch of guys, and they would pull together and really make me look good. And the organizations that I've belonged to over the years, I love Art. He did some homework. I'm 62 years old. I know I look much younger than that. But, he dug back that I was an Eagle Scout, which I'm very proud of, that I was able to do that, and I still enjoy doing the merit badge counseling. So for someone to go back and do that level of homework is phenomenal. I can also tell you there's some teachers that I owe a lot to from grade school up who would possibly be very surprised about this award tonight. So also, when I came in here, I saw so many people that may be here for some other people, but I'm taking credit for them being here. And I want to just say thank you to all of those people. And the fire guys who showed up and here tonight, that's just makes me feel really good. I miss the fire guys. I miss being the fire chief. I love the fire department. I always point this out. I'm fourth generation fire service. I didn't get into it by accident. I really chose it, wanted to be it. I wanted to be a fire chief. And Lombard, and Bill Lichter isn't here. He should be here, but he's not here tonight. I thank him for appointing me fire chief of Lombard all those years ago. I came here and I was going to work here like 2 years and move on to that bigger, better job. And then 25 years later, I was still here. My wife, Marilyn, where'd she go? Oh, there she is. Marilyn. She was sitting behind me, I was thinking. When we came to Lombard, we were leaving an area that we loved. We left a fire department there that I loved working with, but I wanted to be a fire chief. And we came here, and my goal was to be here about 2 to 3 years. And we stayed, and things just worked out. And that's the way life is. Every one of us have gone through that. We always think that we're the captain of our destiny. And absolutely, we're nothing but someone here for the ride. And our ride so far in Lombard has been terrific. Again, as Art did in his historical review of me, 2 years ago, we started talking about, I'm in retirement, my wife keeps working. And we said, well, let's start thinking about, building a house, where do we want to live? And we looked in other communities. And then we made the decision to stay here in Lombard, because even those other communities, every community has something neat to offer. Lombard had many things that we thought was neat to offer, and things that we enjoyed, our friends and our people that we get to work with. I see Leslie, the president of the Lombard Historical Society, who keeps me in line and helps me do my job. And those are those type of people that we said, as you move into another community, especially a little bit older, how do you build those bridges? How do you meet all those different people? All those guys that you worked with, all those people down at church, other people like Brother Tom, the chaplain for the fire department from over in Montini. You know, you're going to lose that. And so we decided to make Lombard our home for the future. And then we were lucky enough and we built a house, and we're certainly enjoying that. So that was just, I think, a time for reflection. We were actually sitting down before I got the phone call from Jackie, and we were talking about our decision. You know, and how many of you guys out there, we're going to ask for a raise of hands, made a big decision in life, and then after a while you start saying, well, was that a good decision? You know, and probably being retired, I got way too much time on my hands, so I do that to myself. During that conversation, we came to the resolve that it was a terrific decision, you know, and one that we are very happy that we made. So, you know, not only what we've done in the past, we hope to do a lot of things and help and make Lombard a stronger community. I would like to thank everyone who came out. I would like to thank the other people who won the John Egan Award. When I was hearing those letters, I was thinking, wow, you know, that was pretty terrific. I wanted to join that family over there, you know. So you're standing here with that group. And that's sort of been my life. I have stood with a lot of great groups. And tonight is a good example. Again, I'm here with a bunch of people who, you know, it's just great being part of that. Part of our decision to stay in Lombard is also our family. 2 of my 3 sons are here tonight with family. Our noisemaker, our newest one there, is only 5 months old, so she won't remember any of this. But, you know, they live in the area. My youngest son, who's still in college, we don't think he'll ever leave college, but someday we hope he will come back and live in the area too, because having family around is just super important. I've got 4 of my grandkids here tonight, and I'm going to end with the remark that my second youngest grandchild made. Mommy, I'm getting bored. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate this deeply. Good night.
And this will conclude our ceremony. We would not like any other grandchildren to become bored. So please keep submitting people for these great honors. Lombard is a very active community, and someone is always going out of their way to make this village a better place. You have to know somebody who does that. The Lombard Jaycees want to congratulate the honorees as well as thank everyone who helps support this event. We hope you will visit this year's Lilac Parade on Sunday, May 18th at 1:30 to help celebrate our Man of the Year, Ed Seagraves, as well as our Grand Marshal, Smitty. Thank you and have a good evening.